Welcome to This Is My Architecture. Today we're talking automated drift detection, and I'm joined by Ankush from Fugue. What does Fugue do?
So Fugue is an infrastructure provisioning and automated baseline enforcement platform.
Nice. Now, what business problem is this architecture solving?
So Fugue is trying to solve this business problem where people are not building infrastructure the right secure compliant way up front. With Fugue you do that and also make sure that the system will always enforce your configuration.
So you're allowing users to use your own library and their libraries of kind of a domain-specific language around things like GDPR and other compliance regulations.
Correct, yep. We ship out those libraries, so when you need those compliance standards up front, Fugue will provide that for you from day one.
Okay, so tell us what you've built here.
Yep, so this specifically is our orchestration engine that allows you to provision infrastructure through it using the compliance libraries up front, and once it builds that infrastructure, then it manages it for you moving forward.
So it's not just building it, it's actually checking it as well.
Yep, and that's a big business problem that everyone faces and Fugue is trying to solve from day one. So over here what we're looking at is what we call as the conductor, which is the orchestration engine. This is the very simple and actually the only piece of infrastructure that the conductor uses for doing everything out there that we spoke about. Everything lies in an AMI that we ship out, which is on an EC2 instance, and it sits as part of an auto-scaling group of min-max 1.1. The persistence layer is actually in the DynamoDB table. So we're following the same best architecture practices by AWS.
So that's talking into there all the time?
Correct, yep. So this is the persistence layer. We use SQS queuing system to actually communicate from the outside world for anyone over here. So people will send SQS messages for anything that they need from the conductor. And that will then interact, authorizes. KMS is used for encryption of all the messages as well as the data and security standards, right? So once the EC2 instance gets the SQS messaging, it actually does authentication using IAM and SDS and KMS behind the scene. SQS and SNS are the brains of everything from the outside world and all the notification that the conductor needs from within.
So everything is flowing through those message buses essentially, but it's being always authenticated and encrypted.
Correct, yeah. And that is by design. Our founders came from national security backgrounds, so we ensure that whatever we design and build is always keeping security at the forefront.
I see.
And
what's happening with S3 here?
Yeah, so the S3 bucket, which is closed to the public and only the EC2 instance or the conductor can access, is storing kind of your map of your infrastructure declaration, as well as the policies. And we spoke about the standard policies like CIS, GDPR, HIPAA, NIST 853 compliance, PCI. Fugue also allows you to build your own policy using policy as code approach in the same domain language that you declare infrastructure with Fugue. And all of that is compiled, and the compiled code is uploaded to this S3 bucket, and that's what the EC2 instance uses to download and start building infrastructure.
And because it's compiled, you're eliminating the errors up front.
Correct. The compiler not just takes care of syntactical errors. With Fugue, our baseline libraries also then make sure that the declaration are actually correct, so you don't have to deal with rollbacks once it starts building the infrastructure and the compliance.
Now, this is not running in a Fugue account, this is running in the customer's account, is that right?
That is correct. And yeah, it's not a SaaS application, it's not hosted by Fugue. This gets deployed in one command in a customer's AWS account, in one AWS account that they have. And then, using cross-account IAM role, the conductor then manages infrastructure in other AWS accounts. And over here we just have two, but it can be as many AWS accounts as you have.
And just so I'm understanding this is not just detecting that a drift has taken place or some issue has taken place, it's rectifying as well.
Correct, yeah. So once it builds the infrastructure, what it does next is actually scan it on a regular interval that can be changed as per your setting. By default, it's every 60 seconds. It will scan for the infrastructure configuration, map it to the original declared state that you provided, and if it comes across any drift, it will not only use the SNS topic to notify you in real time, but by default, it will also return it to the good baseline, secure compliant baseline that you provided.
And you can see what's happening with that because it's being audited and tracked as well.
Yep, everything that the conductor does gets logged in CloudWatch logs for in the same account as the conductor.
Fantastic. Ankush, thanks so much for sharing your architecture with us today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching This Is My Architecture.